four, three, two, one, go!
Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. And you've got the super team of sports talk here with y'all on one half of it. Diego Barisha across the Black Dominican Russian. Checking in with my main man, my partner in crime, the 6 foot and under post up champ. Tell them who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, broadcasting live here on the Thursday, the first Thursday of the new year, the first AA Sports of 2019. What's good with you, homie?
Yes, man. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everybody listening, all the watchers and followers and listeners. We appreciate y'all. Yes, it's 2019, baby. We made it. Another year. Hey, keep grinding. Appreciate it. All that good stuff. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But as always, we appreciate y'all tuning in to us. YouTube watchers, followers, subscribers, continue to leave us some comments there on that platform and share those episodes with your people. And then even you guys that listen to us on the Spreaker or the iTunes podcast platforms, we appreciate y'all as well, just the same. Of course, we're going to get into pretty much put a final bow on regular season because it's over. Playoffs are here. We got wild card weekend coming up, so of course we're going to preview those particular games. But we'll give y'all a quick rundown on the Week 17 scores before we put a bow on that, like I said. Then we also got some other news, headlines, and notes. And we're going to discuss Black Monday and, you know, which jobs are looking like the best ones.
That Black Monday was like not just literal. It was Black Monday for real.
Right. Right, literally and figuratively. Yeah, it wasn't a good day for the brothers.
Nah.
He was a head coach.
No.
When even Marvin Lewis get fired,
boy,
you know it's a bad day. It's a bad day. But we'll get into that. Before we get into all that, though, y'all know how we start the show. We're gonna get into a little segment we like to call something like the news. This is where we hit y'all off with different little crazy stories that we see browsing the internet. May or may not pertain to sports. Hate normally starts us off, but I didn't really do my homework this week. I only got one story. So I'm going to go ahead and...
That shit used to be when we had to do Easter speeches or whatnot. I go first. When you don't, just get it out the way. I go.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need for me to follow up with my one little story after you did 10. So I'm going to go ahead and get mine out the way. All right.
Yes, sir.
And it's a crazy one, too, right here in ATL. Well, actually, the store is here in Atlanta, but the guy lives in Mississippi. So we have Dale Dickerson out of what part of Mississippi is he in? Olive Branch, Mississippi. Doesn't sound like a place that I myself may visit one day. But nonetheless, Mr. Dickerson bought a diamond bracelet for his wife.
Cool.
Found a diamond bracelet for his wife at a jewelry store here at one of the malls or outside the mall here in Atlanta, right? So he gets it shipped to him. First of all, I'm not buying a $2,000-$3,000 diamond tennis bracelet and having anybody put it in the mail.
Hey, before you continue, real quick.
What's up?
How the hell did the dude from Mississippi? He's in Mississippi, right? Because I read the story too.
He lives in Mississippi.
He get in contact with the jewelry store in North Lake Mall.
All the way, right out of all the malls. And this ain't. If anybody who has not been to Atlanta, or if you have been to Atlanta, you heard about Phipps Plaza, Lenox, probably. Yeah. There's a couple other pretty nice malls, Perimeter, but this particular mall, this ain't no mall like that. This is a mall where pretty much
step up from a flea market, like slight.
Yeah, I'm about to say this is where the stores go to die. This is the Oakland Raiders. This is the Oakland Raiders of the malls right now in Atlanta. So I don't know how he got up with these cats. But so he gets the damn bracelet shipped to him. Homeboy opens it up. He don't have just one bracelet, people. He's got 48 of the same diamond tennis bracelet. The jewelry store and fucked up the order and sent him 47 diamond bracelets too many. Now, some of you may be asking right now, well, how do you know this? Yeah, I want to know how I know this because I know damn well I'm probably not going to say nothing.
Hey, God don't make no mistakes.
You said just what
things for sale to all my people.
And I was thinking about it because we did a story back a couple of months ago, where it was some money at the ATM, and somebody rolled up, and I know I was like, "Nah, you got to get that back." Is this different?
That's different.
Is it? I'm saying, is this different? That's like money, and you knew it wasn't yours, but they sent this shit to me.
But the person at the ATM was on camera. They tag everything. You're
right.
On camera. They can catch you with this. This shit come to your house. And from what I read also, it was nothing in there indicating that it was 48 bracelets in there.
Exactly. It was only a packing slip for one. That's why I say, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, he turned down a blessing. You don't do that. When them blessings come to your door, you just accept it.
Just accept it. Don't ask no questions, man. Nah. Don't ask no questions.
Hell, a diamond tennis bracelet, I'd have gave her a couple. I might have wore one myself and been stuntastic. Who knows?
Hey man, get a couple of them linked together, make a necklace, something.
Start off the new year right. Absolutely, but yeah. And the only thing they sent him as a reward was some damn earrings.
Yeah, and not even him, her, because they was diamond earrings, so they going to her. He ain't getting shit out of it.
Okay, so 47 times 2,000. So I basically saved y'all $94,000, and y'all sent me some fucking earrings. That don't sound fair to me.
10 grand, I think, would have been fair.
That'd have been good.
No
problem. Anyway,
cash money too. I don't want $15,000 worth of jewelry. I mean, I got to go try to figure out a way to get off. No. Cash money.
You might have had to meet me to get that same time.
Again, we ain't shipping it through the mail.
Hell no, absolutely not. All right, I got a few stories because we got a lot of work tonight.
Well, they can cash at me that bread though.
Sure could have. I'd have been good. Boy, you imagine how when you hear that cash app go off now, it's love, but 10 racks, bruh.
Oh, man.
All right, let me run through these few little stories. All right, down in Florida, I want you people to be on the lookout and be aware. It's about 200 monkeys running around, and they got a strand of herpes that kills humans. So, yeah, they had imported some monkeys years ago to this wildlife reserve, and they just let them run free. Well, the monkeys have been procreating, and they got herpes that kills humans. So you got to be on the lookout. Now, I know they look real nice and cute. There's some small monkeys. If they scratch you, if they touch you, if they throw their shit at you, you can get that herpes that kills you. So
this sound like the Gremlins gone wrong,
bruh. It's a doctor, some college down there. He been telling folks for years about these monkeys with these herpes. He was like, "It's 200 of them now. It's gonna be like 400 of them in like 2 years, running around the woods, running in people's neighborhoods in some cases with herpes." Little kids gonna see them monkeys thinking they toys and whatnot. Man,
oh man,
that's a tough break there.
What part of the country is this in?
Down there in Florida, like Coral Gables, around that area. That's a tough break.
Oh, yeah.
All right. They don't have this young man's name. Well, he could not be a young man. A gentleman in Oklahoma City on New Year's Eve. He went to Taco Bell, and they did not give him, I guess, whatever sauce he wanted. So he opened fire in Taco Bell. He started busting.
What's up with these people bucking in these fast food restaurants, man? Go ahead.
I love mild sauce for Taco Bell. I love it. Man, you remember we used to live off Taco Bell down in Georgia State. But
absolutely.
That shit wouldn't have happened at that Taco Bell down there at Georgia State anyway.
That
thick proof glass.
Nah, that 4-4 Taco Bell off North Avenue, people. If y'all in Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about.
That shit ain't happening.
Nah, ain't nobody going in that. Anybody going in that Taco Bell not bucking on the cashier.
Speaking of
not
catfish,
not unless you're from that neighborhood. Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna talk about that story at the end about that young lady.
Yeah.
What else I got? I don't want to talk about that one. That was not too interesting. This young lady one, that's pretty real. God, shout out to God on this one and the police in San Antonio, Texas, for stopping Tony Albert. Did you see this story? This cat was in full tactical gear on his way to a church to fulfill a prophecy with guns, hella guns. And you know what's the worst part? He was a brother.
No, I didn't see this story. What was he doing now?
He was on his
about to shoot up the church.
He's about to go shoot up a church. 33 years old, about to go shoot up a church. And they got him held right now. You know, the devil's real, people. If that would have happened, that would have been another tragedy to end up in the year. Shout out to the police for catching him. Some of these cats are just not well. And ain't no excuse for going to shoot up no church. I don't give a damn what you're hearing in your head. But all right, this one here, this is actually funny. In Oregon, state of Oregon, as of January 1st. You saw this shit? Okay.
Nah.
Oh, go. This is funny. As of January 1st, you are allowed in the state of Oregon to pick up roadkill to go home and eat it.
What?
Yes. The law passed because apparently it's against the law now to pick up a possum, a deer that's been hit on the side of the road. Yes.
I was about to say I wasn't aware that it was illegal.
Right. Why would that be against the law? Anyway. I
don't know. Maybe because we grew up in the country, so dog fighting was acceptable. So it could be a cultural thing. I don't know.
Basically, you got to fill out an online form providing some details about yourself, the animal, and where you're getting it from. You also got to pick up all its parts. You can't just take what you're gonna go home and eat. You got to pick up all of it. Here's the kick about this. 20 other states allow people to pick up meat on the side of the road killed by animals. This type of shit here. This is the type of stuff that politicians go to Washington for and they stay forever. Because why should you have to vote on this? That makes no sense.
So if nobody see you gotta is this like a honest John thing? You just gotta report it. It's self-reporting.
Could you imagine somebody going home filling out an online application to go pick up that possum they saw on the side of the road?
Maybe a deer.
The stuff.
Will knock us.
The stuff these people vote on just.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, this is the last one. Fellas, you make your lady upset sometimes. You may not like her. She may not like you. Things happen. If y'all going through some stuff like that, just smell the cup that she give you. A Long Island woman, 40 years old, Renee Burke, is currently in jail because she been giving her husband antifreeze in his wine and his Pepsi.
Hell no.
So man, you get something, it just don't smell right, but you drink it anyway. So he put some cameras in the crib.
Uh-oh.
Saw her putting antifreeze in the bottles. So she's in jail. They were going through a divorce, still living in the house, going through this divorce. Now she's facing 25 years. Who won now? Who won now?
So I wonder how long he was drinking this shit. Yeah, he must have caught it early. I mean, I know sometimes I see shit like that on like the ID channel or Snap or some shit like that. Yeah. And over time, is where it normally kills the guy. I think I saw one time. So maybe he caught it quick enough where he was all right. But damn. Yeah, that's tough shit. Let's talk about this that cashier story real quick before we get on to our work. People, if you didn't see the viral video of the young lady down in that was Florida too, correct? Correct. Yeah, down at it's like every week we got stories from Florida. Every week. Because it's wild down there, man. It really is. Okay. The young lady was working at McDonald's and an older white gentleman asked her for a straw. And I guess she wasn't moving fast enough. So he reached across the counter, grabbed her by her shirt, and pulled her to him over a straw. Last time I checked, I've been in McDonald's a few times. Straws are also stored inside the store. They're not just kept behind the counter. Mm-hmm. Most McDonald's I go to now, actually, all the drink shit, that shit is self-service. Right, self-serving. The straws is over there by the cups. So maybe he didn't want to go. He didn't walk 2 feet
to get a straw. So he grabs this girl. Well, the next thing that happened from there is a classic example of you want some, come get some, because she gave him that work. The work. She got off about 5 or 6 good ones.
He was holding on for dear life to her shirt.
Dear life. Now, you shouldn't have reached your ass across that counter. But my issue was with the young men who were standing there while the young woman, a black lady, is getting yoked up.
Right.
And nothing happened. Nothing.
Right.
Man, look. We was young Thundercats back in the day.
That's not going.
It's no code nowadays. These young boys. It's no code.
It's really not. And to a degree, you can't even blame some of them because they ain't had the right upbringing. Right. But you just don't let you don't let that happen. When you at work, that's like your second or third. That's like your family right there.
That's your family.
You know what I'm saying? While you there every day, pretty much all damn day. You spend more time with them probably than you do your own damn family.
Yes.
You can't let one of your family members get yoked up and you standing around nonchalantly talking about stop, which is pretty much what they was doing.
And she wasn't a big lady. She was small, petite. Now, she gave that work to be small.
She could fight, though.
Yeah, she could fight. Her hands quick.
She could fight.
And the worst part about it, out of all of this, old boy grabbed her and then said, "I want her fired immediately."
Right.
You got your ass whooped face on, and you saying you want the girl fired. I'm gonna try to stay up on this story because 9 times out of 10, whenever y'all go places carrying on like that, being racist for some reason or whatever, y'all tend to get fired, especially when it goes viral. So whatever he's doing, he'll probably get fired if he has a job, if he has one. But
I say, did he get out of jail?
I didn't hear that part yet. I ain't hear.
Okay, I know they gave him like 2 assault charges. I heard.
Damn.
Yeah, the police finally showed up because even after the video ended, he wouldn't leave. Now, I also heard that he only caught the charges because he kicked another employee or somebody else on the way out the door.
And he didn't get his ass whooped the second time.
Apparently not. But I don't know how true that is. I think I heard that on from a caller that called into the radio show.
Right.
But he was saying that he didn't even catch the charges for what he did to the young lady. He only finally caught charges for kicking somebody on the way out the door. I'm like, that don't really sound right.
No.
So we'll see. But yeah, he was a punk ass dude, and them some punk ass dudes she worked with.
Hey, people, we're not advocating violence. The only thing we're advocating is keep your hands to yourself.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
That's it. Keep your hands to yourself.
That's it. That's all you do.
And everybody, it'll all be love. But then when you put your hands out there, you just might get that work. He caught the work. So, shout out to her.
All right.
All right, you ready to go to work?
Yes, sir. Let's get into it. All right, people, that was something like the news. We're going to hop right on into the Week 17 recap. It's going to be a quick-ass recap. Then we're going to get into what we got coming Wild Card Weekend. Again, the coaching carousel is on the move. And then we got some other news and notes before we get up out of here. Week 17 scores, the Eagles 24-20 over Washington, earning a shot to redeem, well, not really redeem, but defend, rather, their title. They made the playoffs. Minnesota helped them out a lot, losing 24-10 to the Bears, not showing up. Kirk Cousins, Mr. $84 million guaranteed man. They at the crib. Last year they was in the NFC Championship with Case Keenum. Go figure.
Go figure.
To me, Minnesota, I just think they were not as good on defense as they were last year, and they couldn't carry when the offense stalled. Last year they would hold people to 15, 20 points, and that'll still get an offense a chance. But offense out here scoring 10 points, 17 points, that shit wasn't gonna cut it.
Let me ask you this: what was a bigger problem, their defense or their offensive line?
I would say the offensive line.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because the defense was serviceable, but that offensive line was trash. I mean,
that's very true. And Mike Zimmer liked to run the ball,
right?
So he wasn't really able to do that outside of a handful of games. They weren't able to do that very effectively. And when teams started shutting down Diggs and Thielen, they were done.
Yeah,
They were
One
done.
thing too, you just said, but I want to clarify for some who don't know. There's a big difference between run blocking and pass blocking. They're pretty solid run blocking. That's just straight ahead. But pass blocking, they were trash. Kirk Cousins never had time, like ever. So it's a big difference in your line in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how they regroup and come back next year. We know who will be their quarterback.
Yeah, man. It's like we were watching that game. I know I was talking to you at the time, and I was like, "Damn, if this does not go well, they're gonna be all on his ass, like all on him, because they can't trade him."
Nah, they can't. You could see the pressure. I don't know if you watched that game Sunday. You could see the pressure just about to make his head explode because he got out of character with the yelling and being all animated, going back and forth with Thielen, about those plays. You could see him just fuming.
Mad in that regard. I do understand why he's mad because he was like, I ain't got time for the play to develop downfield. I don't have 10 seconds. I don't have it. But I guess the funnier part is that was like the B team defense. Like a lot of the starters was like out by that time, and they was still on his ass.
Yep.
What do you think about Mike Zimmer being on? They ain't gave him an extension yet. I don't think it's his fault.
No, I don't. I mean, I think he's fine. He'll be back.
I don't think he's gonna get fired, but I think it's shitty how they got him on this lame duck thing. That ain't his fault. That line is.
When is his deal?
I want to say he has one more year left on the deal. So.
Okay.
Maybe
over the off season.
Yeah, but
maybe over the off season. They'll see. But I think he'll be there at least for a couple more. I think he'll be there at least until Kirk Cousins' contract run out.
Yeah, that's tough. They are stuck with him.
Hey, they only got 2 more. They only got 2 more years of it.
2 more years at $27 million a year. Tough break. Oh well. All right.
Yep. The Baltimore Ravens, they earned their playoff spot, holding down their spot at number 4 seed, their division one. 26-24 over the Browns. That was a good game, like we expected it to be.
Yeah.
Cleveland kind of had to make a little bit of a comeback. They had got down a little bit, but they fell short. The Ravens pulled it out. Of course, that means that Pittsburgh going home, and we'll get to them in a second as well. But the Ravens, man, I like the way they're playing right now.
Somebody made a point this week. If they hadn't lost that game in Kansas City in overtime, Lamar Jackson would be 7-0.
Right. Right. That's what I was saying. I like how they're playing right now. It's just how long can they sustain it playing the way they're playing? I don't have no problems. I think the defense is going to be fine. Yeah. The only thing that scares me is if a scenario arises where they are down multiple scores. What will Lamar be able to do passing the ball? Because they winning with him being able to run damn near 100 yards a game, and slow playing it pretty much. Yeah. And that's working for them. That and playing defense, that's a good combination with a run game and a good defense like they got. It's just that's the only thing that worries me is if they get down, then what's going to happen? Because then you're going to be out of character. Michael Crabtree and John Brown, these dudes ain't caught balls in weeks.
Man, has he been like squarely hit yet? Like rocked?
No, not really. But he does a pretty good job of either getting down or getting out of bounds. He hasn't taken too many square hits. He's smart about that. Unlike Cam and Vic, like they were not in their early years at least.
Jimmy G, Carson. Yeah, you 100 on that. Let me ask you this though. Well, we can move out this. Derwin James is gonna be hunting them in that game on Sunday. He's gonna be looking.
It's gonna be a good one. Another team sliding into the playoffs. The Colts. They won 33-17 over the Titans, and pretty much in the winner take the last playoff spot. If you want to say the Titans was at a little disadvantage because they didn't have a quarterback, Mariota was out with the injury. They had Blaine Gabbert in there. I don't think it would have mattered.
No, I don't.
Which one, honestly?
No.
So the Colts took that, getting in the playoffs. They will be taking on the Texans this weekend. We'll get into that later. Meaningless game. Seattle won 27-24 over the Cardinals. I guess it was a little meaningful for me at least because I was hoping Arizona would pull that game out so we can get the number one pick back.
Oh, that'd have been dope.
But Seattle kicked the field goal in the last second, so won. Pittsburgh.
I'm about how they play down to the lesser teams.
Seattle.
Yeah, that's what they seem to do.
They do. I'm battling in my head what I'm gonna do about taking in that game.
Well, you gotta decide in a little while.
Because man, I don't feel confident about either option really, but we'll see. Pittsburgh 16-13 over Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh unfortunately did not make the playoffs. That tie in the Browns game early in the season came back to bite them in the ass. No Antonio Brown in this game.
We'll get to him.
We'll definitely
talk about him now. We'll talk about him now.
Yeah, we might as well
get him out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about what AB is doing in Pittsburgh right now. You hit me about it because I wasn't hip to it at the time, and you hit me, and I was like, "Shit, all this is happening. All of that happened." I guess I was just lost. But man, what the hell do they do?
I mean, he's throwing the ball at Ben in practice. He's refusing to practice.
Ain't
answering calls. Well, I won't pick up Ben's punk ass phone call anyway either. But
but when Tomlin and the owner call, you should pick up.
You might want to pick up the phone for the person signing your checks. Just a thought. Or not expect to play, which for some reason he showed up thinking he was going to play. And you can call Mike Tomlin. You know, he is what he is, definitely a player's coach. At times it does seem like he does not have control of his locker room, but
they treat him like a substitute teacher right now.
But he did not allow Antonio Brown to play in Sunday's game. Now, what else happened? So I think AB came to the game, was on the sideline, then left at halftime, right?
Yeah. So that morning, so your coach calls you 2 days straight, you don't answer the phone. So Sunday morning, you have your agent call your coach and say, "Hey, he's feeling better. He wants to play." And shout out to Mike, like you said, for holding it down, saying, "Nah, playing ain't on the menu, but I'd like to talk to him." So AB shows up in a hard-ass mink coat. He's there for the first half. He leaves at the half. Can we say he quit on him?
I mean, that's essentially exactly what he did, at least for this game, at least. Now, well, one thing I can't, I ain't going to say condone, but I can't account for, he ain't just doing this to be doing it. Something has happened from within, said, whatever, that has made him feel, I guess, quote unquote, unappreciated.
I think this is strictly my opinion. I think they tired of Ben not being held accountable. I mean, it's like every Tuesday and Wednesday, he's throwing somebody in the damn bus. Don't matter if he's throwing picks. It don't matter if he fucked up. It's always somebody else's fault. Now, that's not no reason to excuse him throwing that ball. But you're right. It's deeper than just this week, this season. It's way deeper.
Right. It's got to be. And you know, and then the fact that pretty much Tomlin and Ben have got together and are in an alliance pretty much, you know, that can further make him feel a certain kind of way. And we've all been there, you know, when you start to feel that kind of way, it ain't just overnight where it's just going to get resolved. At some point, they're going to have to chop it up, and it's going to have to be like, I need you to hear me. You know, I need to get this off my chest, and then we need to move on from it. But I agree with that. I think a lot of it has to do with how they baby Ben. You know, Ben gets out here and he talks reckless a lot of the time, you know, and he's like the last quarterback that should be talking reckless about anybody, especially teammates.
That's what just let you know them Super Bowls make you Teflon.
Right. It's crazy because everybody knows that the quarterback is going to take most of the blame or get most of the blame. I'm going to say take because it's on them. It's on the media and how everybody perceives it. But they're going to get most of the praise when we win. They're going to get most of the blame when we lose. But at the same time, when we lose, you can't be out here throwing teammates under the bus. Right. You don't see Tom Brady doing that shit. You don't see Drew Brees doing that shit. You know, So it's a way to go about it. I ain't saying you got to be cookie cutter cardboard or whatever, just like them. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's been more than enough occasions where Ben has been saying slick shit, not just this year.
He been doing it.
So yeah, he's been doing it. So
I heard something also. They said the AB was upset that they voted Juju team MVP. Juju balled this year. If that's true, if he
now
really
that's true.
be shit like this, that's lame.
Yeah,
Like,
that's lame. That's lame as hell.
I hope that's not true.
But that sounds like it could be. But that sounds like just something else for him to add on to whatever else is there. That's just like a little that's sprinkle on the top.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
ain't.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't. I don't think that's the base of what he or what has him pissed. But you can't verbalize that. That makes you look very selfish and like a hater.
I mean, he got his money. He gets the targets. I think it's Ben. I really think it's Ben. I don't think it's Tomlin. I think it's Ben.
Hey, and this, and he ain't the first player to not answer the phone when being called.
Ain't that funny how that go? Like nobody ever answers calls.
The star players at that. No, I mean, they're just not answering his call. So,
Hey, I wonder how it would go.
You want to read into it.
What if the owner comes to him like, "Hey, AB, you shouldn't disrespect Ben." Hold on. So he get out for rape, and I gotta kiss his ass.
Meeting over. What can you say after that? Because it's 100% facts.
Where to lie it? All right, let's keep moving.
But before one more thing, did you see him and Uncle James Harrison?
Man, I want that interview.
And Harrison ain't too fond of Mike Tomlin either. He's let that be known.
I watch those Fox shows during the day, and Uncle James is on there a good bit. Yeah, he ain't too fond of Mike Tomlin. Not at all.
Not at all.
Mm-mm. So, you think they're gonna? Would you? Last thing on this, would you move him?
And Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
No, he gonna have to do more than that for me to move him.
But if he continues to go nuclear at this point,
I mean,
how do you make it right?
You got to nip it in the bud and get it done right now. Right now, it's still, even though it's a lot of reporting on it and everything, and it's hot topic right now. But it can be resolved because ultimately this is not why they didn't make the playoffs.
Absolutely not.
It's not like he missed the game and they lost, and if they won, they would have been in, and they still won the game and they still not in the playoffs. So I don't think it's nothing that can't be fixed, but they got to get in front of it like ASAP before it festers even more. They got to get a hold on it right now.
Did you see Ryan Clark's that story he told?
I didn't care for that.
Yeah,
he was acting like a little tattletale on that one. I didn't really care for that. Don't be.
It sounds personal, like legit personal.
Right, like he been holding on to that for a minute.
But you see, AB was on somebody's post about Ryan Clark and called him Uncle Tom. Yeah, they need that smoke.
Hey, I can see where you're coming from. I can see where you're coming from.
Absolutely.
Rest of these scores, man, from Week 17. 49ers lost. My 49ers lost to the Rams 48-32. George Kittle, my boy George Kittle, the best tight end in the history of the NFL for the future, baby. So I said it right now. Mark that. But he broke the record for all-time receiving yards by a tight end in the season, 13-something.
NFL, y'all not shit for letting this dude. He the only person they throw to. He's the only person they throw to. And y'all still let him get all them yards every week. Y'all ain't bracking him nothing. Just he's the only person.
Just out there. Man. Kansas City, they won 35-3 over the Raiders. Nothing to write home about there. The Chargers 23-9 over the Broncos. We pretty much figured that was going to be Vance Joseph's last game, and it was.
Wouldn't have showed up.
Call in sick, right? No call, no show.
No call, no show.
There you go. Another team season that was already over. That team in North Florida, they lost 20-3 in their finale against the Texans. The Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. You want back up?
Real quick on that team from North Florida. Did you hear what they're doing with Fournette? Where they basically voided out his guaranteed money?
Yeah, for the next 2 years, right?
Yeah, so he can like get cut. They just drafted him. Like,
Right.
I don't think he's the main problem on that team right now.
Like
His hamstrings suck. Don't get me wrong; they're terrible, but I don't think he's the main problem.
for them to do that, that's
deep.
That's big. Yeah, it's something there that we don't know yet. It's got to be either with them injuries or something that went on behind closed doors. You don't see that with a top pick like that.
They said they didn't like his rehab, because he was out for like most of the year with that hamstring, and then they said it was heavy. But at the same time, okay, why ain't nobody giving Tom Coughlin any blame for bringing Eric Flowers in and starting him after the Giants cut him? Your line ain't gonna get better with Eric Flowers. It's not. No blame for that. Blake Bortles, no blame for that. And Doug Marrone kept his job. It just ain't like it just needs to be a lot of stuff happening in there. Just start over. Just what? All of y'all.
Is everybody? But damn, Leonard Fournette, like what, 19? Yeah, I mean, of course he ain't that young, but
if you're gonna cut him, if you're gonna make it sounds like I'm not saying they made him the scapegoat, but okay. It's just a lot wrong with that situation. That was interesting to me. But let's keep moving. My bad.
Hey, you want to void somebody's contract?
Now they said they did it behind that him running across the field to fight Buffalo. They said he knew about it, but I mean, the boy can run the ball. He's young on a rookie contract.
Hey, they want to void somebody's contract, void the person's contract who put that bad juju on their ass at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right. We're going to keep it moving. Now, this was probably the best. Yeah, it's probably, I think, the best game of the day. Dallas Cowboys and the Giants. Cowboys won 36-35. It was a good-ass game. Giants lost to Beasley, Bear, and Dak Prescott.
I was so close to getting the crown. I was so close. But now we both finished with the crown.
That's crazy. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Well, so we can go ahead and put it out there right now. It's our show. We ain't got to have a format if we don't need to. Hey,
no, sir.
The last week, right, people, I was up one game going into the last week of our picks battle. We had 3 games different. The Dolphins and the Bills, Cowboys, Giants, and the Vikings, Bears. So 8-1, 2-1. So that left us in a tie overall for the season. We both finished at 159, 95, and 2, finishing at a 63% winning clip. Again, people, we told y'all we can give y'all some pretty good picks out here. Now, some weeks it was hit or miss.
Yeah.
We had a lot of 9-7 weeks, especially at the beginning of the season for me. A lot of like 7 and 9 weeks. So it is what it is.
I should have quit on Carolina after that Pittsburgh game.
Hey, you should have quit on Carolina, and I was kicking myself for a couple of games where I didn't pick my own team, and we ended up pulling off upset. So that could have took me over the top. But at the time, I was trying to catch up. I think I was down like 10 games, so I had to come back. But that's what that was. So we had fun doing that every year. Of course, we'll do that again next year. Yes. But yeah, man. So this Dallas Cowboy game, that put us over the top. Dak had a good game. Don't get me wrong. Zeke didn't have to play. For me, they still like almost similar to the Ravens. When it's coming to playoffs coming up, they got to feed that ball through Zeke, and they don't want to be down multiple scores and have to come back. I don't think that's the identity that they want.
Have you seen Amari Cooper since that Philly game?
I think it's been 3 or 4 games right in a row. He has not had much production.
They got some tape on him, it seems like now. So we gonna see.
They probably shading some coverages as well. Making things easier on Dak Prescott, making him feed Beasley Bear underneath all day. He can have all that he want.
Yeah.
Now him and the one of the tight ends, Jarwin, seem to be picking up. Yeah. He played good Sunday, so we'll see if that carries over, or that's just the Giants' defense sucking and not giving a damn. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to these picks. I think I know which way I'm gonna go.
Okay. These last games don't even count. Lions won 31-0 over Green Bay Packers. I was like, did Aaron Rodgers not play today? But I guess he had a concussion.
Yeah,
he got knocked out early.
Yeah.
All right. Buffalo Bills 42-17 over the Dolphins. Carolina Panthers decided to show up and play some ball. 33-14 over the Saints. And the Saints, they played some starters.
Yeah.
Now Teddy Bridgewater, let's talk about he didn't do much to help himself. Blah blah blah.
Shit, what did what's that tall dude from Tampa who got that deal a couple years ago and hadn't played the game?
Mike Glennon.
What did he do to help himself? He got $16 million.
Right. Brock Osweiler. So. Yeah, Teddy be fine. He'll get his money. Plus, with the quarterback market looking like it's gonna look.
Yeah.
He'll be all right. He'll land on his feet. Worst case scenario, he come back and back up Drew Brees.
Wait on Drew.
For the Saints. Yeah. So there you have it.
Well, they got Taysom Hill in the way now, so forgot about him. And they like him.
Yeah. They do. You think they're gonna put him? You think they have him strictly to be a quarterback or a gadget player?
Now they're using him strictly right. I mean, they want to get him on the field, but truth be told, that's a good point. Hell, has he thrown? He don't throw the ball much for a quarterback.
Most of the time when he comes in, it's for some type of misdirection, run, gadget type play.
Yeah.
So I think I want to say I looked it up. I think you asked me that a couple of weeks ago. I think he only had thrown like 5 passes all year, so he don't throw the ball much.
And shit, they got him on special teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So
yeah, they're not looking at him as the future. My bad. So
Teddy, if he on special teams, they definitely not.
Yeah.
So so there we have that. But the Carolina Panthers won the last game of the season, 33-14, winning down there in Nolans. Of course, Nolans got the bye. They're looking at the playoffs and beyond. So I can see them not being focused on that game. But last game, Atlanta Falcons 34, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 32. Dirk Cutter is out. The team has committed to Jameis Winston being a quarterback next year. As we pretty much expected, we thought Jameis did play good enough to at least warrant another year. They probably just pick up his fifth-year option, right, and just see how that goes. I think that would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, $20 million ain't bad for a starting quarterback in the NFL. So let's how you want to do this? Let's run through Black Monday first, then playoffs.
Okay, I want to ask you real quick. What you think they're going to do? I mean, I'm sure they probably will grant Deshaun Jackson his request. I don't think he'll be traded. I think they'll probably just cut him.
Yeah.
So I wonder what he.
I'm really surprised that didn't work out. I'm really surprised.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
It is chemistry with Adam Humphries and the other wide receivers, but none with Deshaun.
Right. And how did Deshaun pick up chemistry with Ryan Fitzpatrick of all quarterback instantly? Sometimes it just work out like that. And plus, Jameis
got a jelly arm. He can let the thing go. It just didn't work out.
And you can tell he had a better chemistry with Mike Evans anyway. So maybe it's because he's bigger target. Because sometimes Jameis can be not quite so accurate.
Yeah.
So I think he probably prefers a bigger receiver with a bigger catch radius, as they like to call it. Maybe that's why he couldn't connect with Deshaun little ass as much as he probably wanted to, especially down the field.
I heard the reason why they didn't get along because Jameis wore too much blue.
You stupid. Oh man.
All right, let's run through Black Monday because we gotta make these picks at the end. Well, we gotta speed this thing up. We've been rambling tonight. All right, jobs that were open as of Monday. Vance Joseph got fired as we expected. Steve Wilkes got fired as we expected. Adam Gase, we did not talk about him last week, I don't think, but he got fired. What else? Dirk Cutter, we knew he was going to get fired. Ty Bowles, we knew he was going to get fired. Marvin Lewis was a surprise. Weren't too sure.
He got fired.
For weeks, he ain't going to get fired. He good.
He got Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, he figured out a way. And we got to throw in the 2 jobs that were fired early in the year, which Green Bay with Mike McCarthy and Hugh Jackson all the way back in October. Shit just didn't work out well for you because, the team balled after he left with the same players, like no additions. But what do you think? How do you rank these jobs?
Ranking them, obviously, I ain't going to say obviously because this is just my opinion, but I think the Browns have the most talent.
Yeah.
I think that's a very attractive job. Of course, Green Bay would be attractive with Aaron Rodgers. Now, with that job, I think you have to if I'm the Packers, I may think about maybe getting the defensive dude. And the way where everybody's going offensive. If we can find a really, really good defensive guy, I mean, Aaron gonna change the damn plays anyway, right?
Yeah, he's already scored anyway.
So, you know, and with defense being one of the Achilles heel of the Packers for so many years, I think that would be at least a road that they need to at least travel and explore a little bit. Hates frozen people, so I'm good to get him to snap out of that. Look at him in the zone. But let's see if we can get him back. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, good people. We back with. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty. Power surge, no internet. That means no connection to you guys. But we back. All right, so we was we was in the process of ranking these open coaching jobs. It's 8 of them this year. I was saying I think that the Browns got the most talent. Of course, you know Green Bay is going to be up there high on the list because they got Aaron Rodgers. The third team, I would think, because they got a young quarterback, some young players on defense, and some money. I'm gonna say the Jets is probably the third best job if you can handle that New York market.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. If Sam Darnold continues to develop, they got money, got a whole lot of money. Yeah, that's the third best job. Now, them other ones, they hit or miss.
Right, because you know you look at the Jets. Of course, they are in the talk, have been the whole time in the running for Le'Veon Bell because they do have that money. So if you think about the possibility of getting him along with a young quarterback like Sam Darnold, again, they got a few young pieces on defense. I think they need maybe a different set of receivers or somebody to be a real number one. I think Robbie Anderson probably serves best more as a 2.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they need offensive weapons. Le'Veon would definitely help them, but they got to find some wide receivers. They got a whole lot of low spades.
There you go. Outside of that, you look at Denver. Elway has not shown the competence to be able to know how to pick quarterbacks. So that's I think going to be an issue. Not just quarterbacks, probably some personnel choices in general, right?
At some point, he has to take some blame for all of this. At some point, I mean, there's no blame to him. He drafted all these suckers at quarterback. His claim to fame is the Super Bowl they got, but hell, you had Peyton Manning. He ran the offense, so
yeah,
he drafted.
It's going to be hard to get rid of him in Denver because he's got that Super Bowl as a GM, and the 2 from him playing. So he a made man in Denver. Now, how long before the fan base say, "Hey, man, enough is enough"? Now, there's been some talk. Shout out to the boy Bob Scales. I think he broke this one to us yesterday about Kubiak, who is in their front office right now, maybe interested in taking the Falcons OC job. Now, I think that's interesting for me because if that is coming or has been leaked from Kubiak's side, that he's willing to look at that job, I don't think that says very much about his ability or confidence in Elway or that organization.
Right.
Because they have a head coaching job opening. Now, he said he's not really looking into that because of his health. Well, that's the word on the street because he did step down a year or so ago from a head coaching job. But what you think about him opening that door, if this is coming from his side and his people, about maybe getting an exit from Denver? And what will Denver be looking to do to retain him? Is he that important?
I think he's talking himself up to get a pay raise.
Okay.
Well, truth be told, they bring in another coach. He may not want him there as his OC anyway. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming that situation is so trash because you don't have a quarterback. I mean, you got Case Keenum. They might cut him this summer. So you just.
Kubiak in the front office though. He ain't even the coordinator right now. He is in the front office.
I thought he was helping out as an OC with them. Oh, I'm not sure. It's like he's there.
I thought he had some type of player development title or some shit.
Yeah. So who knows? That's a bad situation. I heard something interesting the other day though. Someone said they need to do like Oakland did and trade Von Miller. He's their most tradable piece. See what you can get for him to restart this situation. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, who else you gonna trade? You can get a draft pick with Von Miller, a nice one.
But I wonder how far they actually are away. I mean, where did they go? What did they go this year? Probably like 6-10.
Yeah, about 6-10. It's on the front page.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they went 6-10. So I don't know. Is it a total rebuild situation, or if they can get a quarterback?
They got a running back. I like Lindsey.
Like Lindsey, that's a good piece.
Emmanuel will probably be cut this summer, especially coming off.
So they got to do something. They got to do something at receiver, probably. Yeah, because Bebe's gone.
Them two young boys last year, so they pretty much gonna have to grow up now.
Okay. I think a good starting point is a quarterback and a solid coach, and then go from there. We know it won't be Josh McDaniels.
But if you a coach, would you trust working for Elway?
Exactly. And if you have somebody that's ready to get back on the sidelines, as highly touted as Kubiak is around the league, not just in Denver or not in just one particular team, pretty much he's respected pretty much around the league in a lot of circles. And he don't sound like he want the job.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I wouldn't trust working for John Elway as far as I can throw him, and that ain't very far. This Cincinnati job, I don't know what to make of that either. I mean, they got $52 million in cap space, but
the Cincinnati job is Hugh Jackson's to lose.
I mean, that's it. That's what they say, but that's pretty much flipping the mattress.
I mean, I guess part of me thinks that it may happen because of his history with that team, and maybe that's why they did bring him back, knowing that they were going to move on from Marvin Lewis. And another part of me just wants it to happen because I think you mentioned it first, actually, to me, him having to play against Baker Mayfield and the Browns twice a year.
I'm here for it
for the foreseeable future. I think we all would enjoy that.
I'm here for it. I want that for the foreseeable future. But the only problem is Baker's with Cleveland, and you got Andy Dalton with Cincinnati.
Yeah. And Dalton still got a couple years left on this contract, so they probably are not moving on from him.
They ain't moving off of him.
I don't know. AJ Green.
He should act out.
He is how old is he?
Can't be you got to be Julio's age at least, of 29, maybe 30.
I don't know why, but I get this Patrick Willis early retirement feel from him. It's nothing in particular.
Not Patrick Willis. I'll give you Barry Sanders. You just tired of losing. Y'all was winning at least.
Yeah.
For the most part, y'all were winning.
Yeah. Right.
So, but Cincinnati, but that's what people sit there and talk about the players, man. That's their fault. That's their fault. They take the bread because the bread is good, and they resign and they lose, and they want folks to feel sorry for them. That's like folks telling me Aaron doesn't have help. Ain't nobody make Aaron Rodgers take this deal. Nobody. He could have been franchised in 2 years and got out of there, give or take, but they take the money.
Yeah, in Aaron's case, Green Bay don't spend a lot of money on free agents anyway, so I don't think him not taking the money was going to help that situation anyway.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about to leave. If he wanted out, what I'm saying, that part of it.
No, nah, he ain't going nowhere. He want to be in Green Bay till he retired, pretty much.
Yeah, but he has a Super Bowl, so he's made.
But I'm probably wrong about AJ Green, and it could be the special beverage in my cup that made me say that. But we'll see how he bounced back. It's just I don't think he's as injury prone or has been injured as much as I'm probably thinking he has been. I'm probably speaking off on that one, but at any rate, I think that's huge job to lose. They'll interview a couple other cats. In regards to this coaching carousel, though, we know Mike McCarthy's probably going to get a job. Josh McDaniels' name has come up. I saw his name a few hours ago as being very interested in the Browns.
I'd go there than Green Bay. That Green Bay job that concerns me. Aaron's 34, 35?
Mm-hmm.
now he's younger than Tom Brady. So if Josh, if he signed on to hang with Brady, then why would he not go to Green Bay with him? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, people are, that's going to be a highly sought after job.
yeah.
Because you got a mixture of, you got a few retreads, I think, that are going to get a lot of interviews and looks. Of course, they would love to take a job with that type of quarterback. And then you got your up and comers that they just want to get, some of them just want to get their foot in the door anywhere. And why not Green Bay? So, so we're going to see. It's going to be interesting to see once these dominoes start falling.
Yeah.
Then, where some of these coaches, like, I mean, Adam Gase is getting hella interviews.
I'm baffled.
Yeah, really? Okay. We're going to go down that road. Okay. I hope he goes to Arizona.
Making them calls. Peyton, like, hey, he's good. Just needs a quarterback.
Right.
Arizona, I don't understand why y'all fired Steve Wilkes after 1 year. I don't know what y'all saw to determine that, but, hey.
Hey, did the dude that had the super DUI, did he make that decision?
He should be fired right after. But, the executives haven't really started getting fired yet. So, and Tampa Bay is there. And, you pretty much, like they said, Jameis will be your quarterback next year. So we'll see.
Of these guys that just got fired, and then we can move on. I guess to pick, we got a few other things, and then we'll pick some games before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Of these guys that got fired, I guess we can we take Mike McCarthy off the list? We know he's pretty much gonna get another job, right?
He's gonna get a job. Yeah.
All right. Marvin Lewis is probably not. Todd Bowles, I think he could possibly end up as a D coordinator somewhere. Dirk Cutter's been tied to Atlanta as an OC possibility. If Adam Gase keeps getting interviews at the rate he's getting them at, and with this many jobs being on the table, he could very well end up with some bottom of the barrel job. Arizona. Dare I say Tampa? I can't see him working with Jameis though.
No,
that don't seem like that's a fit right there. I can see him in Josh Rosen though.
Yeah,
I can see that. But who do you think out of these dudes, any of them gonna be head coaches this year outside of Mike McCarthy? Vance Joseph.
It'll be. You talking about the brothers? Now,
I know any of them.
I think Adam Gase will have a job.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he got Peyton caping for him, calling everywhere, putting in the word. He'll get a job because all they're gonna do is blame it on Tannehill and Jay Cutler. That's it.
True. What about Vance Joseph? We ain't talking about him.
Nah, I don't think so.
Special teams coach.
I mean, he won't get a head coaching job. He can be somebody's D coordinator. You know the ironic thing about when we get fired, you either you get a job immediately or you go to the bottom of the barrel. You think about Raheem Morris when he was with Tampa. He was a head coach after John Gruden. He was there for a year or two. Now I think he's a wide receivers coach in Atlanta. Maybe, it just it doesn't work that way. I hope Steve Wilkes goes back to Carolina, and outside of Gase, Hugh Jackson getting Cincinnati's job is the most possible, and that may come down to, all right, well, shit, you sitting there. Oh well, you can have it.
I think Marvin Lewis goes to the crib.
Yeah, he should.
I think he's going to the crib.
Or maybe he can be on some of that. What's the old dude in L.A. the D coordinator?
You know
what I'm talking about. Wade Phillips.
Phillips.
Maybe he goes to be a D coordinator somewhere. He done did the head coaching thing. Get you a young defense, get them right. I mean, wasn't he the coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens that year? That they won the Super Bowl. So yeah.
Well, like 01, not the one that they won in 2012.
Yeah. So I'm talking about the 01 team with Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
That's what got him hired. So we'll see.
That's what
dominoes will fall.
Absolutely.
Y'all fired Sark. So we gonna see who y'all blame next year.
Dan Quinn, I think, is officially on the hot seat.
You are on the hot seat, my man.
The entire staff got fired. OC, DC, special teams coordinator. Dan Quinn taking over the play calling with somebody. I don't know if you saw this article in AJC. One of the writers wrote a lengthy article about how they don't think that that's a good idea for Dan Quinn to take on more responsibility, in-game responsibilities when he can't even manage the few that he had when he's not calling the plays.
But in his case, I was gonna say, well, bring in Todd Bowles as a DC. That's like having your replacement standing there. You know what I'm saying? Because if they fire him, he was a head coach. He didn't have a quarterback. Put him in place. Black quarterback in a black city. That could work. But I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't like his time management situations. I don't like them at all. So,
well, unless Matt Ryan is gonna put on blackface, if I don't have no black quarterback. Matt gonna be here for a minute.
He gonna be there, and it's a whole lot of stuff to get resolved down there in Atlanta. I mean, they're talking about the defense. I heard today they said Grady Jarrett's the focus. Y'all pacified Julio last year. He came back this year and led the league in receiving yards again. Something gonna have to shake again. You're gonna have to come up with some money for him. You gotta pay Beasley. It's
now the word on the street, they may be getting rid of him.
Who? Beasley?
They may be letting him walk.
I can see that.
So
when you pay him real money, I can see that happening.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. But I'll give them somewhat of a mulligan this year because you can't have all those injuries that they had on defense and still have the defense play formidable. So we'll see.
I ain't
right. We'll see what happens next year.
All them injuries. So 100. All right, let's run through these tidbits real quick.
Yes, sir.
We ain't got to talk about AB. We did that already.
Yeah, we already did that one.
John Wall has had season-ending surgery. Washington's 15-23. Should they blow it up?
At least trade Bradley Beal or try to.
Yeah. Or Otto Porter, really. I'd keep Bradley. Take the L. If I can get rid of Otto, we won. If I can do that.
Definitely, if you do that, that's going to be some Danny Ferry dope boy magic, like when he got rid of Joe Johnson contract.
Right.
That Otto Porter contract is bad.
Yep. All right, Paul George is balling. I'm just really starting to pay attention to some of these late games, but he is playing at an MVP level right now. Do you think he can continue? This is the best he's looked in a while.
Oh, he's playing great. I'll see you in May.
Yeah. But you know what? When we talk about Paul George, the main thing we need to talk about right now is that Russell is deferring. Now, Russell can't hit the side of a barn either right now. Oh, his shooting percentage is terrible, but he's deferring. So he's getting the shots up, and they're playing defense in Oklahoma right now. But like you said, we got to see it in May.
You hear that, Colin Cowherd? Russell Westbrook does pass the ball and, play with teammates.
Yeah, but Colin hates him. So, all right, AD had 34. Was it 34 and 26 last night?
I don't know, 50 and 37, something like that. I don't know.
And they still lost. Demand a trade, homie. Do the city a favor. Do yourself a favor. There's nothing wrong with it. Y'all are 14th in the West. Now, don't get me wrong. With the way things fluctuate in the West, maybe y'all can get back up to a playoff spot, but then you have to turn around and deal with Golden State or somebody like that. Golden State will turn this shit around. There's nothing wrong with demanding a trade. There's nothing wrong with it. Look, I'm leaving next year. I only want to go to the Lakers, so if you trade me to somebody else, I ain't resigning. So you give up all your assets, and I'm going to leave. You lay that out there.
And I think that's part of the problem is he got this year and next year under contract.
This summer.
So he could, I mean, it'd have to be here go the extension, the Supermax, or you signing it. If not, all right, you know what's up. You
know what that is. When they turn the Supermax down, you trade them. That's summer.
Yeah,
why wait?
Absolutely. So
why wait? All right, last. Keep moving. Does anybody love themselves more than LeBron James?
Absolutely not. What people are surprised about these comments. As soon as I read them and I saw the video, I'm like, because I haven't watched this particular episode. That series, More Than an Athlete, Am I an Athlete, whatever it is, it's actually pretty good. But I haven't watched this latest episode. But as soon as I heard it, I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You shouldn't have to talk yourself up, but LeBron's really been doing this hard the last 2-3 years, give or take. Hard.
Yeah, pretty much ever since they started playing Golden State, it's really become more and more. It's like he's got to remind you, Hey, I'm really, really, really good now. I probably have a lot more championships if not for Voltron over here.
Yes.
But
yes,
you know, he's been doing a lot of that, and of course, he couldn't be more wrong.
yeah, yeah.
He couldn't be more wrong. I'm sorry. We say it all the time that we'll give you kind of like that one that you won for Cleveland counts as two. We'll kind of give you that if you want to stretch that.
But then you still need two. I think if he gets to 5, I'm good. He could be at the table maybe at 5.
I mean, he's at the table is very limited anyway. I think he's at the table, but he ain't at the head of the table. See, he's sitting on the side. He got people on the side of him. And then you got heads of the table.
I think Mike's sitting at the table by himself right now. Right now. If he gets to 5, he can sit at that table with him.
Okay, I mean, if you put the table like that, I guess I'm looking at a long table, maybe about 5 to 7 players on it.
Okay.
And you know how you have the head of the table?
Yeah.
I'm picturing Michael Jordan at this end and maybe like Kareem, somebody sitting at the other head. And then you got, LeBron, Magic, a couple other people, maybe Kobe if you want to stretch it.
Yeah.
On the side. I think LeBron is still on one of these sides. He ain't right there for that chair yet, for that head chair. And it's gonna be tough to get because, like you said, you can't top 6-0. We ain't never seen Mike crack in no finals the way he did against Dallas. Even though I don't really fault him for the losses in most of those finals like a lot of people do, because a lot of those teams were just better than his teams. He still got to those finals, but there's still losses. I mean, at the same time. So all of that, and just being a Mike lover, I think. Period.
No, that's 100. I mean,
it is what it is. But
yeah.
I mean, he's a top 5 greatest player. Just be done with that. You don't have to say it. And I meant to send you a video where Mike was talking about the same thing. I might have posted it on our chat.
Yeah, I saw
it. If Michael Jordan of all people, piss eyes, was humble when this was asked of him. So
only cat still in these streets wearing bootcut jeans with loafers.
Slapping players in the back of the head mid-game.
Shout out to that boy Mike. Shout out to him. All right, the college football championship went just about as we expected it to. Alabama beat Oklahoma. The score makes you think it was closer than what it was. And Clemson beat the brakes off of Notre Dame. The brakes off of them. I don't have nothing.
Sunshine pretty good, man. For Clemson. Sunshine from Remember Titans. Yeah. He's pretty good football player. I think Bama's still gonna take it Monday night, but it's gonna be a close game. Dabo gonna have his boys ready.
Yeah.
They will be ready. It's crazy out of her.
They knock them off. That'll be 2 and 3 years.
Yeah.
Man, I want to see Saban if they lose next Monday. Man.
Hey, we gonna see. You heard how them tickets is like cheap as a motherfucker out there, right?
Oh, they are?
And they talking about those tickets are like $100-$200 right now.
Straight up.
Something about there's been a lot of talk about the geography and demographics, all this bullshit about where the game is at. That stadium ain't really in San Francisco. It's like in Santa Clara, so it's like 45 minutes out of the city.
Yeah.
A lot of people from the South not really wanting to travel all the way to the West Coast. That's a pretty expensive trip. Yeah. That's a long trip. A lot of people are just coming off the holidays.
Yeah.
You can't take 3-4 days off work right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Even if you can, who the hell wants to burn through that much vacation as soon as the year starts? Nobody.
And if you're a Clemson fan, I mean, you want to burn that vacation, go all the way out there, spend all that money, and y'all lose.
So maybe that's why. So if you're out in Cali right now, you want to see a good national championship game for the low. These tickets are probably cheaper than the Warriors tickets.
Absolutely.
All right.
Last little tidbit before we do our picks. Floyd fought some dude on Sunday night and got $9 million.
He made that dude cry too.
I saw it on YouTube and I meant to watch it. I was like, man, I ain't gonna do that to myself, even though it's free. I ain't gonna watch this mess.
Man, that dude was so small. Dude, Floyd had his arm around that dude, and Floyd little.
Floyd small.
So that dude was hella small, man.
Man, Floyd, stop. Well, I can't say stop taking these people money. They keep giving it to you, so why
I
not?
mean,
Why
and
not?
and you see 9 million. That's a nice bit of money. That's like chump change. That's like he hit on the scratch off.
Yeah, basically for some slight work.
Right.
Let's run through these picks, my friend. First game on Saturday, first wild card game. The Texans, they have the Colts coming into town. All right, we see Deshaun Watson's numbers, see what the defense and offense did, but then you got Bill O'Brien. I don't think Bill O'Brien can lose this game. He don't get fired or nothing because, that's what they do, but this will be another bad look. They're at home. You're healthy. But why am I scared to pick them?
That's a bad look. Coach can win this game. Deshaun Watson is holding the ball too fucking long for my liking. They don't have a consistent run game. I don't like the fact that Davis not there anymore. Bill Hopkins can still do his thing. He's shown that he can do that in the past, but there ain't nothing else there. Remember, Will Fuller got hurt earlier in the season. I don't know who the other tight end is. The Colts Colts got a formidable defense right now. They got a good run game, good offensive line, so they should be able to neutralize Tommy a lot. I like what I'm seeing from the Colts right now, and that's why I'm taking them in this game.
Just to be contrarian, this the game they got to win. They have to win. They're at home.
Yeah, you're right.
This the game they have to win, but I'm scared as hell. But I'm gonna go ahead and take Houston in this. Plus, they got their ass kicked by the Colts in Houston about 2-3 weeks ago. So this should be a form of get back. It should be. So give me the Texans in that game.
Okay. Oh, we keep it tally? Okay.
Keep it going.
I bet.
All right. What's the next one? Who plays Saturday night? Oh, Dallas and Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas and Seattle. Games in Dallas. Dak's riding high. Because don't nobody believe in them. They just believe in themselves and they good.
Right.
This is a lob. I'm setting this up for you. Go ahead and take your folks. Go ahead and take your folks. Dakota and them. You got them Dallas color headphones on. Go ahead and take your folks.
Bruh. It's like we know Dallas has a good defense. They shut down New Orleans when nobody was shutting down New Orleans.
Yes.
We know if they simply, and we say simply, but for some reason it seems to be difficult for them at times, feed Ezekiel Elliott the ball and run off him, and then that'll open up things for Dak Prescott and make it much more easy. If they get down 2 scores, I do not trust Dak to be able to bring them back with strictly his arm. I don't.
Didn't they play them this year, Seattle? Didn't they go down there and beat them?
Mm-hmm. No, the game was in Seattle. In Seattle won.
Oh, it was in Seattle. That's right. My bad. I'm gonna take Seattle.
Right. Because in the same token, I'm like, man, if Sierra show up to that game, Seattle gonna lose. I don't know why. I just think she's bad up. So
Seattle's gonna run the ball. They're gonna force. They're gonna run the ball.
They are.
They got the little dudes on the outside to get open on them go routes.
Right. And Seattle's got a pretty good defense.
Seattle got a pretty good defense. And Russell should win this game.
He should. I trust him more than I trust Dak Prescott.
Absolutely.
But it seems like lately, Russell been on some bullshit.
Russell been playing good in the big games, though. The so teams, he'll play down to them, be on some humbug. But this one here, I just don't feel comfortable. Now, I could be dead wrong. I can come back on here next week, whatever day we do, and Dallas could have rolled them 42-17. Who knows? I could be dead wrong. But I don't believe Zeke going to run wild on them. And let's be clear, man, their offensive line is hurting. It's hurting. That's
true. They had 2 people out last week, which is another thing that contributed to making that game against the Giants harder than it should have been. To cut to the chase, end of the day, I trust Russell Wilson in the big game more than I do Dak Prescott and taking the Seahawks.
All right, bet. All right, who plays on Sunday? The Ravens and Chargers. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take the Chargers in the game. I feel like they had 2 weeks to watch them, to see them. Now they're going on the road. And that's going to be difficult. But
Yeah.
they went to Pittsburgh on the road and won. They went to Kansas City on the road and won. I think they're going to get it done. You know, that's a pretty quick turnaround. You just played them 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They got film on you. So, and like you said, if Baltimore gets behind 14 points and Lamar got to throw that ball, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking the Ravens.
Okay.
I'm taking the Ravens. I think this is probably going to be maybe the closest game of the weekend. I actually think the winner of this game is going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
I feel the same way.
That's what I think. So,
and that's why I'm going with the Chargers, because this is on some legit now and never shit. Like,
yeah, especially for Phillip Rivers. Especially for Phillip Rivers.
The healthiest they've been. If y'all can't get it done now,
right,
ain't gonna happen. So they get Hunter Henry back. He's playing this week. So you finally got a tight end beside old man Rivers. Well, Gates.
And I don't think Melvin Gordon played in that last game.
I don't think he played.
Against Baltimore. I don't think he played.
Could be wrong. All right, last one. Chicago and Philly. In Chicago. Give me Philly.
Give me Chicago. I like the defense. I think Trubisky will do enough. If Philly had the defense they had last year, I could feel better about taking them. But I think the Nick Foles second coming of this ride, I think it's going to go ahead and not even pull out the gate all the way. I think Chicago and they're going to take it.
Something going on there. We're going to see. Defense plays up when it needs to. The secondary is their main problem, but Chicago's wide receivers are trash. I say trash. Like, they're gadget dudes. Allen Robinson's hurt. So
is he out? Is he out of this game?
He didn't play the last game.
Okay. I mean that would be big. I don't think I would probably change my pick if that's big. Now even if he is hurt, Anthony Miller is back. Remember they drafted him, a rookie from I think he went to Memphis. But he was doing pretty good early in the season. He had been out. I think he came back last week. As long as Mr. Trubisky takes care of the ball, does not give him the turnovers, give it for the short field. I think the Bears will be okay.
Cox is gonna have a good game.
That's always very, very possible. You can't never discount that. All right, so there we have it. Okay, so the only game we gotta like is we both are not fucking with Dallas. Outside of that, everything else is covered. So this is going to be a good wild card weekend. And, of course, we got the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Saints, and the Rams at home chilling, licking their wounds, healing up, waiting on the winners of these games for next week in the divisional round.
I get these 3 wins this week. You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing next week.
Hey, man. Go forward. But I already told you, man, I'm never concerned with your picks because mine are always right. That's what's up. All right, let's get up out of here, people. We appreciate y'all tuning in to us as always, even through the technical difficulties and all that. Of course, the show will be posted later on tonight, early tomorrow morning, so don't forget to check it out on YouTube, iTunes, and Spreaker, all 3 of those platforms. Uncle Hay, tell these people where they can reach you at on social media.
At ReK6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, and before I forget, shout out to that boy Kane.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Category Kane from the Kane and Ice Show. He hawked down Ice Cold Eric in an epic comeback to take the fantasy championship over the weekend. He was down by 50 or 60 points. I think he came back to win by like 12. So shout out to Kane.
Category Kane's having a good week. Mark Richt quit in Miami. They go back and snatch their old defensive coordinator who had just took the job with Temple. He's like, hey, I would stay, but they want me back. Nick Foles gets the Eagles into the playoffs. He's an Eagles fan. And then he hawks down Eagle Eric, his homeboy, to win. That's a pretty good week for that boy, Ice Cold Kane.
There you go. I said, too bad the Eagles not going to win.
We're going to see.
You know, I had to get that in there. All right, people. I'm Diego Barishnikov. You can find me at Diego Barish on Twitter. Don't forget to check out the AA Sportscast Facebook, Twitter, IG pages. I already gave y'all the platforms where to find the podcast because you're already following and listening anyway, so I didn't have to tell you that. For Uncle Hate, for your boy Diego Barishnikov, we up out of here. It's AA Sports, baby. Straight sports, no chaser. Have a good weekend. We'll have y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.